Okay, so Transformers 1 that's a bird because every time a new hour happens, that bird goes off in my clock at my house. So that's distracting. Anyway, Transformers 1 is the ninth Transformers film, counting the 1986 one, which some people don't count. And I just want to say, before we get further into this review, I know the basics of Transformers. I've only watched like an episode of the old cartoon, and I've never seen a single Transformers movie, not the 1986 Transformers movie, not the Bay films, not Bumblebee, not Rise of the Beasts, not any of that. Only like the first like 3-part episode of the 86 cartoon is all I've seen, and I don't even know why I've seen that. So this is a very unbiased, non-fan opinion of this film, which is probably what some people would want. I had a lot of fun with this. There were things that I enjoyed, and the great thing is I can spoil this movie as much because you know where it's going. Basically, this movie is like X-Men First Class Transformers edition, where you see Optimus Prime and Megatron when they're younger and different actors. It's not Peter Cullen and Frank Welker. And you see them, I don't know who voices Megatron, but I know Optimus Prime is Chris Hemsworth. But anyway, you see them go from best friends to enemies over the course of the film. Okay, but I feel like, so it's really fun, and I guess with a prequel, I should tell you how good of a prequel this is. Just from everything you know about Transformers, this reads really well into the timeline. There's only a couple like Transformers things that this movie doesn't address, and I think that was because those were addressed in like the previous Bay films on Bumblebee and Rise of the Beasts, which I think are kind of loosely connected to this. And then you have, other than that, the animation is probably the only thing wrong with it, where it just looks really kiddie, and they almost look like Transformers toys, which was the only reason I think I really wasn't looking forward to it. But other than, like, the action is spectacular. Like, this is like prime, like, from what I've heard about the Bay films, like Bay Transformers movie action, and it's in an animated film, which I didn't even know was possible. Not to discredit animation, I just thought you couldn't do like really awesome action sequences with it. And another thing is that this movie doesn't feel like it's babying its audience, even though it's PG and it's clearly for kids. So that's pretty much everything great about it. It's a great prequel. It's got a great plot. Voice acting is good. It's a really fun movie, and it's honestly, well, I've heard some people say it's the best Transformers movie, and I believe them. So when trying to think about the bad stuff, there's only the fact that Transformers as a franchise really isn't for me, so I don't love it as much as the people who love Transformers. So there were problems with this movie that are just personal things where it's like, yeah, but I don't jive with characters like this, but it was really good. Like, when Optimus Prime becomes Optimus Prime in this movie, it is awesome. When Megatron becomes Megatron, it becomes awesome. Every time you get introduced to another Transformers character, it's awesome. It's especially funny and dark that Bumblebee's a loudmouth, considering the fact that he can't talk and he gets his voice box ripped out in the future. So, yeah. So this is a relatively short video. But I've started a new thing, and I can go on a tangent about this. I'm not rating movies out of 10 anymore. You might have noticed that Beetlejuice didn't even have a rating out of 10, and that's because I think I'm going to do grades now. I think I'm going to do A, B, C, D, F. What's like A plus and B plus. C plus, D plus. There's no F plus. But anyway, this movie's an A. Alright.